Hi, this is Andy Turner, the Education Technologist for Illinois College. Today I want to show you how to use assessment in Moodle. At ic.edu you can go right to the Moodle link, and to sign in use your Connect to ID number and your Connect to password. Today I want to create a new assignment, and this assignment is going to be something that's based on a real assignment that took place in the class, but it's already taken place with the grading, so the score is what's next, and that's just an assessment score. It's not for a grade. I'm using an existing assignment that physically took place in the class in the past, and I'm using that material and the notes that I made on that for the purposes of assessment, whether that's an exam, a final exam, one of the embedded assessments in that final exam, and I want to enter that now. And we can use many web applications for assessment. We're using Moodle in this case. Other vendors are Canvas, TaskStream, Chalk and Wire. Many tools are out there. I like Moodle. It's very user-friendly with the new interface, and I want to show you with Moodle 2.6 how to do so. Here I'm in our course that we've created, and I'm going to turn editing on. Now I'm going to add a new activity. There's two things in Moodle: an activity and a resource. An activity is something that's interactive. A resource is just something that comes from me as a teacher, say. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new assignment, and I just want to make it an offline activity, because an offline activity is something that took place in real life, not through Moodle. So to clarify that, through Moodle means students uploaded a Word document into Moodle as the assignment specified. Offline activity is they just handed me a piece of paper. I told them verbally what the assignment was. They handed me back a piece of paper. I physically graded it with a pen, and maybe I've notated what that grade is in a gradebook and Excel spreadsheet or something. You can do all that through Moodle. For simplicity's sake, you can just use an offline activity to emulate that taking place. So I want to say this is an example assessment, and a description is required. Everything on the web with a red star here is required for the purpose of the specifications of the program, and we say this is an example assessment. Now I don't want to enable the time constraint, or you could. Grade is no grade. This is not for a grade. The grading method, you can use a rubric. I'm going to do simple direct grading because this is just me manually typing in what their outcome score is. Now, the outcomes I have here available to this course. To make these outcomes available, and these represent the rubrics that the faculty at IC have approved, and they look like this. These are the rubrics. We have the speaking extensive experience, and these are 6 rubrics in this rubric, and we can give each student a score of a 1 through 4 outlined here for each assignment that you want to assess. You should use, if it's a C qualified course, then you should use that sort of rubric. Okay, and so we have the rubrics. I want to apply the C1 rubric, Central Idea Message, to this assignment. I have that here. Central Idea Message, I'm going to check the box, because that is applicable to this assessment. What if your course doesn't have these outcomes? And that's going to be the case. So in that case, you have to add the applicable rubrics to your course. All rubrics aren't added in advance to every course, because not all rubrics are applicable to every course. So you must do that manually, and that's in the upper right in Moodle under Course Administration, Grades, and this is your grade book. You can enter in all the grades for all of your courses here under the Outcomes tab. You can, from the list on the right, these are already added on the left, but for your course, if they aren't added yet, you select them by clicking them on the right, click Add, and that populates your course with the applicable rubrics, and then they will be available. So we'll go ahead and go back. I'm going to go to the course home, and that's always available at the very bottom of the page with this little, what looks like a chiclet. And I'm going to go back to what I did before just to repeat. Add an activity, offline activity, add. Assignment name is an example assessment. Description is going to be assessing the C1 rubric for students. And I will not constrain the time. Of course you can. Grade is no grade. Outcomes, again, I want to use the C1 rubric. And I'm going to click Save and return to course. Next, I want to go to the assignment that I just created. Well, where is that? It is here, or it's also under your course administration. You can find that under your gradebook. Administration, course administration, grades. And then from the gradebook, click the Categories and Items tab. And as you can see here at the bottom, I've got the assignment that I just created. It's called Example Assignment. And just underneath it, with this little pie chart icon, I've got the outcome that I associated with that, which is the C1. Now, for each student, you can drop down and then see their existing grade, or you can simply score them here. A 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. Not taking any favorites here, we'll go back up, and then we'll go to 3, and I can click Save All My Feedback. Now, I will go back to the example assessment. Go back to the gradebook. You can always get back home like so, under My Courses on the right. Under Course Administration, go to Grades, Categories and Items, find the assignment. This is the example assessment that I just created, and here I have scores. Now you can export those scores, see all the course grades, for example. Go back to the main, notice the horizontal navigation. The blue grade link is where you can pull down in a different way the grade by going to Save and Show Next. Notice I've still got the grades there that I already entered. 2, Save and Show Next, 1. So whichever way you prefer to go about it. You can sort the list of students alphabetically in different ways. Whatever works for you. And done. If you have any questions, please email helpdesk@ic.edu. Thanks.